Hi and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. Okay, this is Mailbag, common feature of the channel. It's where I attempt to answer questions that you guys have left on the channel, or if I can't answer them, I have a good go at answering them, or I throw them out to the wider Tubi community to try and answer on behalf of somebody who's raised the question. Now, we'll get into this mailbag. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. This question comes from Strobe Memory. And it's in response to a video I did called Ensoniq Waterfall, which was done in January 2020. God, it was that long ago. And Strobe writes, I don't know if you know anything about repair and whatnot, but I figured I'd throw it out there. So I got an Ensoniq SQ-2, so do I, it's sitting there. It's another one of the repair jobs that I need to fix. But I've never had to work on a keyboard synth before. I have a lot of electronics experience though. The keyboard does not play any sort of sound. I don't know that it needs to be connected to a speaker or amp. Well, it does definitely need to be connected to a speaker or amp because it has no speakers in it. The LCD display displays the buttons you press and nothing more. Someone told me that it's likely in diagnostics mode. I have no clue about it, but I assume it may be in that mode due to a missing component. I've opened up the keyboard and checked the circuit board. Nothing looks blown. The battery was dead and I replaced it. Well, the problem with these keyboards of this vintage is if the battery dies, then you tend to lose everything and have to do a reset process. Still no progress. I've looked around online and have noticed that other PCBs have a chip that I'm missing. However, I've seen photos of the same PCB that are missing the same exact chip. It's a chip that goes in the ROM 3 slot. It would be greatly appreciated if you or someone else could help me. And I haven't done an awful lot with the SQ-2. I have to be honest. It's on my, as I've said several times on the channel, you know, I've got a load of projects that need to kind of be done, and it's kind of on the projects of things that have to be done. So I'm getting there. Other things are going on, but I'm getting there. So, you know, basically I've undertaken very little with the SQ-2 since I acquired it, and this was I acquired it about a year before I did the video in Ensoniq Ensemble, so I'm not able to really give Strobe very much more detail on the questions he's asking here. So I put this out to the community. Do you have to have a chip in ROM slot 3? Or slot 3 on the ROM side? I don't know what the IC number would be because I haven't opened the service manual and I haven't really got inside that thing to find out. What I would say straight off bat to Strobe though, if the battery is dead, then what you need to be doing is going through the reset procedure. And again, I don't know what that is at the moment because I haven't done it. I haven't done the research on the SQ-2 to tell me what that actual procedure is. When I do the actual procedure on the SQ-2, because I will be changing the battery on the SQ-2, I will walk through that on video for you guys. So apologies, it's on my list of things to do. I'm sure there are other YouTube videos telling you how to do a SQ-2 battery restore. The other thing I don't know in there is whether it's a coin cell battery or it's one of the little fat batteries with solder tags on it. So I have really little knowledge about the SQ-2 at this point. I do apologise, but I haven't got round to just dealing with it. So out to the community. If the community know of how to solve and answer the questions that Strobe has raised, then please drop comments below this video and he can see them.
this next question comes from Tim. And again, I've had a couple of questions, but what do we know about the Behringer LM drum? A Sunday morning rant I did in June 2021. Tim writes, just get an MPC X all live. It does more, and in the long run will save you buying lots of machines. Tube Digger had a link on his channel that let me download every single drum machine ever. I now have over 200 drum machines in my MPCs, TRs, CRs, Korgs, and even the crazy ones like Alka, Elgam, Acetone, all for free. Every Casio, every Yamaha, every Roland. Who on earth needs these new Behringer clones and Isla copies? They are far too limited in hardware and UI. I am guilty of gas. I did try them out, but there is zero actually for them. Eventually, even if I had a hall for a studio, I would not want 200 actual drum machines or synths, or would I? It's a very good point, well made. Or would you, I've got to say, or would you indeed? I agree that using sample generation systems like the MPC X or Live will allow you to use fixed voices of the instruments, but you rely on the guy that cut the sample having sampled the instrument set up in an optimal way for sampling. And also they have to sample the tonal quality that you're after. Now what do I mean by that? And very simply, when you take a sample, you'll take a snapshot of the tone. Okay, that's what sampling does. When you generate the tone from scratch, so if you think about sort of the remodeled Behringer stuff, the remodeled Aria stuff, okay, you can generate the tone from scratch. You can change the characteristics of the tone. Okay, when you sample those characteristics, and you can change very little of them. That's what I mean by the tonal quality. One of the reasons I have invested in the boutiques and other machines is for that tonal ability. I don't just want the sample, I want to be able to generate the sound, I want to be able to tweak the sound. And yes, many of the bass generation pieces are sampled. The whole concept of PCM was a sample with the ability to change the envelope structure and other characteristics of the sound. And at the end of the day, the way we work with a DAW is all about sampling, because that's what a DAW does at the end of the day. It just samples what you play into it. But if you play a sample into the DAW, you just get the sample. If you play the generated instrument into your DAW and record the MIDI that you're playing, then if you don't like the tone, you can swap out the instrument. And this is quite an important point, and I'm not going to go into it in this answer. But your point is well made, Tim. Thank you very much.